In the last video, we learned warten auf, denken an, sich interessieren für. Now imagine I ask you, worauf wartest du? And you're thinking, worauf? What even is worauf? Well, congratulations, you've just met one of those German words that look completely made up. Worauf, worüber, woran, dafür, darüber. So German seems to take a preposition and glue it to another word and call it a day. But here's the thing. There's actually a very simple logic behind all of them, and once you understand it, words like these become super easy. Hallo Leute, welcome back to my channel Deutschflix, where German is easier than your textbook makes it look. Sind Sie bereit? Los geht's. Okay. Before we dive into Da und Wo-Komposita, we'll firstly take a look at two sentences where most of the students make translation mistake. So we'll take I have no idea about it and she doesn't have time for it. So it will be Ich habe keine Ahnung von es. And for she doesn't have time for it, sie hat keine Zeit für es. Now this is word to word or literal translation, which is wrong. You cannot say von es in German for about it, or you cannot say für es for it. Now how can this be corrected? I have to use da compound. So I'll remove this s, I'll use the word da, and I'll glue the preposition which is used here, which is von. Davon. Ich habe keine Ahnung davon. Now for she doesn't have time for it, I'll cross this s, I'll use the da compound, and what preposition do you see? You see für, dafür. So correct translation, sie hat keine Zeit dafür. Now if I were to make a question out of it, what do I not have idea about? So for that I have to do one thing. I just have to replace the word da with wo. And I'll say, wovon habe ich keine Ahnung. Similarly, for sie hat keine Zeit dafür, I'll say, wofür hat sie keine Zeit. So remember, for statement sentences, you use da compound, and if you are making a question out of it, you use wo compound. But this is just the sneak peek into this topic. Now we have to understand the idea behind using da and wo compound. Now for that, I'll take two German sentences. Das ist mein Fahrrad, that is my bicycle. Ich fahre mit dem Fahrrad. I ride by the bicycle. Now there's nothing wrong with these sentences. It's just that, don't you see, this noun is repetitive, and this can also be replaced using a pronoun. For example, that is my bicycle, I ride with it, or I ride by it. So what I'll do is, I'll spot the prepositional object, which is mit dem Fahrrad. Remember, prepositional object means whatever comes after preposition is prepositional object. Now this mit is preposition, dem Fahrrad is prepositional object. Now this can be replaced using da compound. So I'll say, ich fahre. Now I'll replace this mit dem Fahrrad, and I'll use da compound. Which preposition do you see? Mit. Now meaning, that is my bicycle, I ride with it, I ride by it. Ich fahre damit. Now if you are to make a question out of it, you have to use wo compound. So you'll use wo. What preposition is it? Mit. Womit fahre ich? Now that means, what am I riding with? Or what am I traveling with? So you use these words in order to replace a prepositional object in a sentence whenever the object is not to be repeated or mentioned. Don't worry if you have not understood this. Let us take one more pair of sentence. Sie sieht einen Horrorfilm. She sees a horror movie. Ich habe keine Lust auf den Film. I do not have any desire for the movie, or I'm not up for it, for the movie. Now you have to identify the prepositional object. You can see this film and film is being repeated. This is my preposition. Whatever comes after preposition is my prepositional object. That means we have to replace auf den Film. Now since this is a statement, full stop sentence, I'll use the compound. Now for that I'll take the word the and I'll take the preposition. Darauf. Don't you think something is missing? Pronunciation is a bit weird. Now whenever a preposition starts with a vowel, we add extra R in between to make the pronunciation better. So ich habe keine Lust darauf. Now if you are to make a question out of it, it will be worauf. Worauf habe ich keine Lust? What am I not up for? I'll also write this rule when is this R added. Let's say the preposition is an. Now the compound will be daran. And correspondingly, Wo-Komposita will be Woran. And I'm also including the umlaut. Let us take über. So the compound will be Darüber. And correspondingly, Wo compound will be worüber. And so on. Now I'll give you two pair of sentences wherein you have to use the compound and replace the prepositional object, and you also have to make a question out of it using wo compound. You can pause the video and I'll discuss this in 5 seconds. Step 1 is to identify what is being repeated. Now if you see this restaurant and once again restaurant, that is being repeated. And that is a prepositional object. I can see an das Restaurant. So we'll replace this prepositional object and we'll use the da compound. Since an is starting with a preposition, it will be daran. Erinnerst du dich daran? Do you remember it? Now wo compound will be woran erinnerst du dich? What do you remember? Woran erinnerst du dich? If you've written this question in ich form, that is also fine. Woran erinnere ich mich? Now next one. Bald mache ich einen Urlaub. Soon I'll go on a vacation. Ich freue mich auf den Urlaub. I'm looking forward to the vacation. So this vacation prepositional object is being repeated. Auf den Urlaub. We can easily replace it using the da compound. Ich freue mich darauf. I'm looking forward to it. What am I looking forward to? Now if you want to say that, you have to use wo compound. What am I looking forward to? Worauf freue ich mich? Now let me ask you one more question. Ich warte auf den Bus. I'm waiting for the bus. Ich warte auf Max. I'm waiting for Max. So once again you have to use da compound, and for framing question you have to use wo compound. This is little tricky, so I want you to think about it. So ich warte auf den Bus. I can replace auf den Bus and I can simply say I'm waiting for it. Ich warte darauf. If I were to make a question out of it, I'll use Worauf. This is fine. But for the next one, Ich warte auf Max. Now, if you've replaced auf Max again with Darauf, then you're so wrong. Because now you're forgetting your A1 level, wherein we discussed personal pronouns. So here Max can be replaced with ihn. So we cannot make da compound out of it. It is because da and wo compound can never replace a person. They are always used for things, not person. So the correct answer will be Ich warte auf ihn. I am waiting for him. Now what will be its question? Its question will be auf wen warte ich? Who am I waiting for? Auf wen warte ich? Now I'm not sure if you remember this W word wen. So a quick recap. Wer, which is used as a subject, it means who. So it is in nominative case. Let's say, wer bist du? Who are you? Now its object version in English is whom, but in German there are two types of whom. One is wen, the other one is wem, and that is totally dependent on the case, if it is accusative case or dative case. As you know from the previous lecture, warten plus auf plus Akkusativ. So hence I've written here auf wen and not auf wer or auf wem. Now let me write the rule. So whenever you want to say for it, on it, in it, etc., you use da compound. Otherwise, if it is a person, you have to replace it with a pronoun, and you cannot use da compound or wo compound. And I'll tell you one more thing. If somebody asks you what is the meaning of Darauf, or what is the meaning of davon, or what is the meaning of dafür, you cannot literally translate the meaning of it, because that is totally dependent on the meaning that that preposition holds. For example, if I want to say for it, dafür, but in case of warten auf, I wrote darauf, and here also it means for it. So now it comes back to that verb that takes the fixed preposition. So what is the meaning of that preposition there? Let me give you one more example. Now dafür. Now dafür doesn't always mean for it, because für is for. In the last video we used sich interessieren, and it takes the fixed preposition für. Now it means to be interested in. So if you say ich interessiere mich dafür, now here it will not be I am interested for it. It will be I am interested in it. So any da compound or any wo compound will not have a direct translation, only one translation. Now let me give you one practice exercise to solve. Okay, so here all you have to do is to identify the prepositional object. At least for the first 4 sentences, I have just underlined it so that it becomes easier for you. But for the remaining, you yourself have to identify. So you have to replace the prepositional object with da compound, and next to it you can also write the wo compound. Like I do not want the entire question but only wo compound. Be careful, if there is a person, you do not have to use da or wo compound. Let us discuss this in 5 seconds. Okay, so first up we have Ich denke an Karl. I think of Karl, which is a person. So Karl I'll replace using ihn, because it is always denken plus an plus Akkusativ. I think of him. So we cannot use da compound. Now if you are to make a question out of it, Next we have wir fragen nach dem Preis. We are asking for the price. It's a thing, we can use danach. And for question it will be wonach. Sandra hat sich von ihrem Freund getrennt. She got separated from her boyfriend. Once again, there is a person. We cannot use the compound. So how will I replace von ihrem Freund? It will be ihm. If your personal pronouns are not clear, you can watch my video on it. You will find it in A1 playlist. Personal pronouns in all the cases, nominative, accusative and dative case. So Sandra hat sich von ihm getrennt and question will be von wem. So this time I'll use wem. It is because von is a dative preposition. Then we have Rainer versteht nichts von Computern. He doesn't understand anything about computers. So we'll replace it with davon. And our question will be wovon. Then we have ich hab mich für Wisconsin entschieden. I decided for Wisconsin. So Wisconsin is a US state, which is a thing. So we can easily use dafür. Question will be wofür. Nummer 6. Wir sprechen über unsere Tante. We're speaking about our aunt. So this is a person. So unsere Tante will be replaced by über sie. Question? Über wen? So understanding this da und Wo-Komposita is easy, but it gets difficult when you do not know the case system, when you do not know personal pronouns, when you do not know prepositions. So if these topics are not clear, these basics are not clear for you, you can watch my A1 playlist. Okay, next we have Silke hat sich in Heinz verliebt. Now that is the name of a guy. She fell in love with him in Heinz. So we will replace Heinz with ihn. Because it is always sich verlieben in plus Akkusativ. And our question will be in wen. In wen hat sie sich verliebt? Next we have freut sich auf seine Reise. He's looking forward to his trip. So auf seine Reise will be prepositional object, which can be replaced by darauf. He's looking forward to it. And question will be worauf. Nummer 9. Katja dankt Georg für seine Hilfe. She thanks Georg for his help. So once again it's a thing and we can easily use dafür. She thanks Georg for it, as in for his help. Question will be wofür. Die Studenten freuen sich über den Lehrer. Students are happy about the teacher. Person we have, so it will be über ihn. Students are happy about him and question will be über wen. And that's the whole idea behind using da und Wo-Komposita. I'm sure you might be having some doubts, maybe from the exercise or this topic. Let me know in the comment section. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.
Like and subscribe.